The woman trapped in Antarctica for several months suddenly saw this desolate land actually sprouted a red research station. This was the first time in months she discovered signs of human presence in Antarctica. Excited, she immediately ran over to seek help. Unexpectedly, the doors and windows here were locked. Clearly, this place had long been deserted. In order to survive, the woman tried to pry open the door and force her way in. However, she never expected the facilities inside were exceptionally complete. All kinds of supplies were piled up to the brim. There was also a pile of fresh biscuits in the cabinet. This was the first time in months he tasted such deliciousness. After eating and drinking to his heart's content, she collapsed on the sofa and had a good sleep. After waking up, she took a comfortable hot bath. Finally, she changed into a fresh set of clothes. She began to explore the research station. To her great surprise, she actually managed to start the station's generator. She had thought the generator was long since scrapped. As the power came on, the woman immediately activated the telegraph to try to send a distress signal. But to her disappointment, all channels of the telegraph were completely silent. By the next morning, the woman opened an external container again, unexpectedly discovering a speedboat hidden here. She was thrilled and immediately dragged the speedboat out of the water. In her mind, she calculated that if a ship passed by, she could drive the speedboat to seek rescue. Then she returned to the house and cooked a bowl of noodles to satisfy her hunger. Although at this moment she was full of hope for the future, but by the late night, she still tossed and turned, unable to sleep because her seriously ill husband was still waiting on the other end of this deserted island. She could not become a heartless person, resolutely abandoning her partner. So when the first light of dawn appeared the next day, she began to organize all the essentials, loaded all the supplies onto the speedboat, then swiftly headed to the other end of the deserted island. At this moment, she was unsure if her husband was still alive. After all, she had left him for nearly half a month. When the woman arrived at the former campsite, the night was already as dark as ink. As the woman slowly walked into the room, she never caught sight of her husband. She immediately sensed something was amiss. Even if her husband was gone, there should at least be a body left. Spotting a foot peeking out from the corner, the woman rushed over to check, only to find her husband really lying there, gazing at his pale face. The woman's tears of guilt instantly fell. If she hadn't been away alone for so long, perhaps her husband wouldn't have met with misfortune. As she apologized over and over again, she was shocked to find her husband still had a faint breath, so she held him tightly through the night. At the break of dawn the next day, she helped her husband onto the speedboat, determined to take him back to the research station.